he will take the whole game. Kamza just needs to tie down on his strengths, that being his power and mental fortitude. That's what will happen and help him win if the UFC imposes this fight. Example of strength versus power. It's like pressing or pushing your max. You can only do it a handful of times. This training is necessary in MMA, but in an MMA match, it's how many pushes and reps can you do in a minute a round. That's the figures that needs to be compared. I think Dricus's weights are higher. I think he rests easier, so recovers quicker. Since DDP fixed his nose, we've seen improvements in his cardio. I don't know if Kamza will be able to keep up the pace. He needs to be to ward off Dricus past the third round. The moment he makes a mistake, he can very easily get clipped in real time. Kamza could also lose in his own game on the ground. The DDP threats on the ground will be also real. Dricus has been known to reverse on the ground. I think Kamza will actually want to keep the fight standing, which will be a mistake as well. I don't think this will be a smart fight for Kamza. I think Kamza needs to think longevity and about his career. The O behind Kamza's name is his survivor immunity. It's how he earns, but something he cannot lose if he wants to earn, at least until he gets a title. So Kamza should actually be the one pushing for a McGregor fight. To be honest, he needs a big payday. He needs to kill off a big name. He needs to push himself back into welterweight and regain his title. McGregor takes him straight to the top. For the UFC, if Kamza takes McGregor down, he deserves the welterweight shot. I think if the UFC set up a DDP versus Kamza fight, it's the UFC effectively throwing him in the snake pit, hoping he dies. I don't wish for Kamza's career to play out that way. Gladiator to the highest bidder, mercenary for hire. Kamza has double champ written all over him. I want him to fight DDP. That's a fight I want for sure, but down the road. Both of them established. It's better to have these fan bases growing within the UFC instead of killing one off again prematurely. Anyway, it will make more money down the road anyway, and you know it. No one is saying you can't profit from the fan bases and engagements now. Anyway, I'm saying for UFC Africa again, literally DDP versus AP, and that's like again the factory Rolexes versus the Frosted Audemars at middleweight. Literally Kamza versus McGregor, Wilder's tour and press conferences at welterweight. I'm saying like Ilya versus Islam, and it's like a build up for UFC Europe at lightweight, and then Sugar Sean versus Cameron Saman. It just the bantamweight division needs to be shaken up, and I think this is the way to do it. When it comes to that sort of thing, I'm very willing to just have DDP versus AP or Kamzat as a main event. But I think Sugar Sean and Cameron Saman is definitely a good fight to have there as well. I know that it could be a bit tricky also getting Ilya versus Islam, but you do need something to build up hype for UFC Europe. And that's my opinion on the UFC Africa